Hello, welcome. I'm Jacqueline Morosco of Spirited Practice, and today we're going to do a short practice to help you to connect with your core, which includes the diaphragm, which is just under the rib cage down to the pelvic floor, and the front and the back and the sides of the body. So it'll be a little bit of a different practice. If you're looking for a longer, intense core strengthening practice, this is not it. Okay, so we're going to start with some tennis balls, and what you'll need for today: a couple of tennis balls, a blanket, and a chair or a yoga ball, something like that, because we're going to use it later on for our feet. So we're going to start off by bending your knees, and you're going to place those tennis balls just in front of your sit bones, so the base of the pelvis, and just carefully move side to side. And so here, what we're trying to do is just start to loosen up the connectors into the legs, so that as we're working on the core, we're not focused on maybe tight hamstrings or something like that. All right, and so you'll see a lot of times I start class with tennis balls. So we're going to take the tennis balls now out, and you're going to lift up one side and push the tennis ball in, same thing on the other side, and then we're going to move our hips and our legs from side to side, so hoping to get into those glutes a little bit. Now, after going side to side a couple of times, we're going to come over to one side and control how much weight goes into the tennis ball by pressing down with your feet and your forearm. You could also have a block under your elbow if that's more comfortable for you. And we're just going to do this for a little bit. And we're going to move over to the second side. So same thing, and you might need to get your tennis ball in the right spot. So again, you're over on your side, you're breathing, you're letting your glutes soften into that tennis ball, and if it hurts, you're lifting yourself up off of that ball. All right. Now the final one we're going to do is you're going to bend your knees, lean forward a little bit, and place your tennis balls at the low back behind the pelvis. And again, moving your knees front to back or side to side as you soften that back of the pelvis into those tennis balls. All right. Now, you could do that for a long time, or I could do that for a long time. We're gonna stop that part now, and I want you to come to a comfortable position sitting up so your body's nice and long. And we're gonna place one hand so that your fingertips touching your collarbone, and the other hand below your navel so that your finger, your pinky, is close to where your pubic bone is. And you might close your eyes, as I often do as I start to do this, and connect to your breath. Now, the idea here is to not force our breath, but to allow long, smooth, even inhales and exhales, not doing a whole lot to adjust your breath, and trying to engage with your breath and your body so that we might start to connect the breath and the core working together, because they do work together very intimately. So I like to call this full body breathing. So breathing in through your nose, unless you're congested, into your chest, into your belly, and breathing out belly, chest, nose. Breathing with your full body. And one more breath. And all of this time, we're looking at how our body feels and what sort of connection we're feeling with it. Now we're going to come down onto our backs with the knees bent. And so safely get yourself onto your back. You might come onto your side, you might roll straight down, but you're finding a way to comfortably come down onto your back. feet are about hip width apart and your knees are bent. Obviously, we're gonna again place one hand at the top of the body, fingertip touching on the collarbone, one hand on the lower part of your torso, again, pinky towards the pubic bone. If your elbows don't relax onto the floor, they're up in the air, you can put blankets or towels or blocks underneath them. And as you relax here, connecting with your breath, again, long, smooth breaths, seeing if we can connect our entire body with our breath. Now, when you feel like you've connected with your natural rhythm, the natural rhythm of your breath and the sensations in your body, you can relax the arms down to the sides, and we're going to walk the feet out as wide as your mat. And then one at a time, you're going to bring one knee down in towards the center, lift it back up, and then take the second knee in. And it doesn't matter how far they're going, right? We're just trying to get some movement. Notice how it feels throughout your hip and your hip flexors, and your breathing, and noticing what's happening in your body. And again, we're going to pause for a moment, notice how it feels, walk our feet back to hip width apart. And then we're going to bring in the right knee and hold on to it. And as you're holding on to it, you're noticing where you feel sensation, right? And then we're going to start to take that knee in a circular motion a few times in each direction. And you can't move your leg without engaging your core. So, because you might be wondering, if this is a core practice, why are we working so much on the lower part of the body? Well, it's because it's all connected. After taking your knee in the circle, we're gonna place that gently on the floor, bring in your second knee, and again, holding on to it at first, noticing what sensations you're feeling, making sure that nothing hurts. And then when you're ready, starting to make some circles with that knee, still breathing long, smooth breaths, a few times in each direction. And again, when you're ready, you're going to gently place that foot on the floor. So our feet are about hip width apart, connected to the floor. Take a moment to reconnect your body and your breath. And then we're going to start to tilt through the pelvis. So you might not see this on video very well, right? But on the inhale, you're tilting your pubic bone up. On the exhale, tilting the pubic bone down. Just moving with your breath. Inhale, tilt up. Press down with your feet. Exhale, tilt down. So it's not like rocking quickly back and forth. You're moving with your breath. Inhale up, exhale down. Again, we're going to pause for a moment, connect with your breath, and then when you're ready to move on, we're going to lift up one leg and then the other, and you're going to keep your lower leg parallel with the floor, feet are flexed, and you're going to place your hands on your thighs. So inhale is going to be here, and you're isometrically pressing your hands into the thighs, thighs into your hands. Inhale is here. Exhale, you're going to keep pressing with your hands as you bring your knees towards your chest. Inhale away. Exhale, bring the knees in. And if you are pressing with your hands and your thighs, you're going to feel your core engage. And that's the whole point of our practice today, to connect with our core. And this actually is a lot of work. So notice how you're feeling as you're moving. One more time. And then on your inhale, we're gonna hold on to the legs or the knees and take both knees in a circular motion. Again, a few times in each direction. You're noticing how it feels, the back of your pelvis, low back against the floor. And then we're going to carefully place one foot on the floor and then the other. Now we're gonna keep our arms down at our sides. And again, you're going to connect with your breath. And I find this a little bit easier if your heels are maybe 4 to 6 inches from your buttocks. Feet are still hip width apart. On the inhale, you're gonna inhale down, exhale, come up. Inhale, take those hips down. Exhale, push down with your feet and lift your pelvis up and your chest will follow. Inhale, exhale, lift. So again, we're trying to connect with the sensations happening throughout our body and moving with our breath. Inhale down, exhale, come up. And it's a little bit it's opposite of how we usually do this pose, but I want you to start to notice your core muscles engaging as you're moving up. So next time you inhale down, we're gonna pause for a moment. And again, one at a time, bring those knees in towards your chest, hug them in. You might want to move side to side, or you might just wanna hold on to your knees. Make sure that you can still breathe fully. And then we're going to take our feet again, one at a time, down to the floor, about hip width apart. We're gonna bring the arms out to the sides. Inhale, your nose is pointing towards the ceiling and your knees. Exhale, we're gonna take the knees in one direction and the head in the other direction. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, second side. And here, we're not going for how deeply can we twist. We're going for how does it feel throughout my entire core as I'm breathing and moving side to side. You'll notice what's happening in your pelvis, your head and your neck, and throughout your torso. One more time on each side. And we're gonna stop in the middle, bring those arms back down to your sides. Again, take a moment to connect to your body and your breath. I know I'm saying that a lot this time. And then we are going to find our blanket, and you're going to decide how high you want your blanket. I'm going to fold it in threes. And again, we're going to carefully make our way down onto our backs. Lift up your pelvis, and you're going to slide that blanket underneath your pelvis and then allow your body to sink down into it. So for most of us, there's a little space in the mid back off of the floor. Your feet are still about hip width apart. You're going to take a moment to connect with your breath. And then we're going to lift up one leg. So you have this one leg perpendicular to the floor, and you're going to tap down onto the floor and lift that leg back up. Tap, lift it up. And while you're here, you might even place your hands on the lower part of the torso so that you can feel those core muscles engaging as you're doing. This is actually a nice movement to start to strengthen those core muscles in a little bit of a different way. One more time. And then when you tap down this time, we're going to take that foot to the floor. Continue to breathe. Okay. And then you're taking your second leg up so that it's perpendicular to the floor. Inhale is here, and I didn't say this on the other side, but now you know. And exhale, tap down and feel those core muscles engage. Inhale up, exhale, tap. Two more times. And again, as you tap down, we're going to take that foot down to the floor. Now notice how, again, how your body is feeling, and we're going to walk the ankles and knees so that they're touching one another. And again, bring those arms out to the sides. Now this time, I just want you to move your knees. Inhale is going to be at the center. Exhale, you're going to slowly move your knees to one side. Inhale back to the center. and then slowly move the knees to the other side. And here, again, we're not going for depth. You're going for how does it feel in your body as you're moving. Knees gently side to side. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn, and we're relaxed through the head, neck and shoulders, just moving the lower part of the body as you breathe. All right. Now, we're going to lift up the hips and take that blanket out. You can scoot it out of the way. And then as you settle back down, I want you to take your hands onto your thighs. Again, feet are still about hip width apart, maybe, 6 inches or so from your buttocks. Hands are on your thighs. You're going to inhale, body on the ground. Exhale, lift the head, shoulders, and slide the hands up. Inhale, slide back down to the ground. Exhale, slowly slide up. And if it doesn't work for your head, you could just move through your arms and engage the core as you're sliding those arms up. If you can, safely lift your head and shoulders off the ground as well. Inhale down, exhale, slide on up. 2 more times, and obviously with anything that we're doing today, if you get tired, you just take a pause, you can stop the video, or you can just stop and relax for a few minutes and pick up wherever we're at. Okay, so the next time you're down on the ground, again, you're gonna pause for a moment, and then very carefully, you're gonna make your way over to the side, and you're gonna find your chair. If you're at home, you might use, a sofa, or you could even, put the legs up on the wall. We're gonna come back down to the ground, and we're gonna place our feet onto the chair. And actually, mine's a little bit too far away, so I'm gonna bring it a little bit closer so that I can hold on to the legs of the chair. And it's always helpful if you have all 4 legs of the chair on your blanket, on your mat, so it doesn't get away from you. We're gonna walk the feet to the edge of the chair, holding on to the legs, and you're gonna carefully lift your hips up off the ground. Okay, so inhale down, exhale, lift. And you're pressing your feet into the chair. So I guess this might not work if you're on a sofa. Inhale down, exhale up. And it might be a little tiny lift, or it might be a big lift where your chest comes up as well, but you're moving in a way that feels really good in your body. Now, next time we come down, we're gonna pause, and then you might push your chair away a little bit, and we're going to place the lower legs on the bottom of the chair. And this is going to be our Shavasana. And we're going to do a short Shavasana so your legs are supported. And when we support the legs like this, it takes some of the pressure off the low back and the pelvic area. And so there we go. And you're just going to breathe and allow your body to soften and your mind as you're relaxing. You might place your hands back onto your body, closing your eyes, softening the mind, softening the body. Noticing how your body feels as you allow yourself to be supported by the floor and the chair. And then when you're ready, you're going to take your feet off the chair, roll over to your side, use your hands to help you sit up. I told you it was a short practice. And then again, now that we're in our comfortable seated position, we're going to place those hands on the body. Take 3 long, smooth breaths in the same way that we have been doing. Inhale, nose, chest, belly. Exhale, belly, chest, nose. And hopefully you're feeling grounded in your body and have a little bit more awareness of your core. So I want to thank you all for being here, and I want to thank all of my teachers, past and present, and acknowledge the lands that I live and work on. Namaste.